Well, my Isuzu finally broke down. It's a little dusty and dirty from this summer, but I'll clean it up. If you notice, there's something missing down there. I'll show you what it is. 3 bolts, and you have to loosen the serpentine belt. Let's go back to the shop and let's see what it is. Here it is. Here's the old one. It's actually a vacuum pump, all right? And it's a vacuum pump for the gas engine, which comes out of one of these. This one here comes through the air filter area, which is on the side of the truck, sucks in air. This one here pushes air out and fills up a vacuum box, which then goes to your booster, helps your booster in the stopping of the truck. That's just putting it simple. This I couldn't get at any normal auto parts store. They didn't have it. So I had to go to the dealership. And that's a story in itself. Getting the part was really good. But I called the dealership to see if they had a mobile mechanic because I no longer had brakes. I made it home. It actually went out right in front of my property. The brakes got really stiff. It's like no longer having power brakes. You're like down to the old school manual brakes, which is not safe to drive with a trailer. So I said, I'll just call the dealership, see if it's under warranty. The warranty on those trucks just is 3 years, 36,000 miles or 3 years. So I was over by 10,000 miles. I got 45,000 miles on it. So this went out. So I was thinking if it was covered at first, I could have started this repair on Saturday, but I didn't. So I thought to myself, I'll just wait. I'll call. I called on Saturday. The service department said, we got all your information. We'll call you Monday morning about the mechanic. I said, okay. So that way maybe they had a mobile mechanic from the dealership, because the dealership's about 5 miles from my house. I'll wait. They call me immediately. You have to have your VIN number for your truck when you're ordering parts or even checking on your warranty. So I waited. I said, the hell with it. I drove down to the dealership, talked to the service manager. He was having trouble with his computer, yada, yada, yada. I called another dealership, gave him my VIN number. They told me right away, you're not covered. It's over the warranty. All right, so that's over. So the guy wasted my time. I said, what about the mobile mechanic you got? Might as well just have you do it while I go do stumps and make money. Another mechanic walks by me and just tells me, hey, our mobile mechanic, all he does is fleet service, change oil. What the? Okay, all right. So I said, you know what? I'll just tackle it myself. There's 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3, all 12 millimeters, easy to get at. You have to unhook your serpentine belt. I'll put a link in the description to a guy that shows you how to do this, even better than me being on there. I'll just show you what I'm going through right now. Now, the pulley does not come with the new one. So I bought the new pulley. I've got to install the new pulley on it. Now, I could have pulled this one off and then da-da-da. I said, everything's new. This pulley's about 18 bucks. And then this is right around $600. But I get a discount, so I'll show you, and let me show you the part numbers. At the GM or Isuzu dealerships, this says it's a Isuzu part. It's a vacuum pump. And there's the Isuzu numbers. There's the GM numbers, all right? So this is all from Isuzu, which I bought at my Chevy dealership because my truck is an Isuzu, but it says WT on it, so it's sold by the Chevy dealers. Here's the pulley. All right, you see your numbers. The pulley's made in India, the pump says Japan from Isuzu, but it's actually made in Hungary. There we go. So, in order to get your old pulley off or put your new pulley on, you'll need one of these, a neighborhood Harbor Freight. Okay? So, and there you see, you can visualize what it is. It says what it is. It's to pull it off, and you use it also to pull it back on. The other guy shows you a real good video how to do this, so I'm gonna just freaking do this, and then we're gonna put this pump on. It's 3 bolts, serpentine belt. All right, and it's a little tricky. You need to either have ratcheting wrenches or regular wrenches, 12 millimeter, to get at these bolts, all right? And then another bolt that stops your wrench that connects to your fan shroud. Very easy. You can do this. And how you know your booster light will come on, a big buzzer would come on, and then you need to check over here if it's sucking, which it wasn't barely, it was like sucking like an ant till I had to behave myself. It wasn't blowing out of here. So I tested them before I pulled it off the truck. So here we go. Let me go take this. I'm gonna put the pulley on it, and you need a tool, and these are about $32 this set. And the guy will show you, and his video is better than mine. So let me get at this and do this, and I'll make sure and put a link in the description of the other guy. All right, the new pump's back on. I had to press that new wheel on it, and I'll link the other guy's video. It's very easy, just gotta buy that toolkit. This bracket here is a 12 millimeter and two 12s right here, 1 and 2. Take this bracket out of your way, it's very easy. And then you can get at the 3 bolts very easy. You'll have to use, I'd like to use a 12 millimeter ratcheting wrench. Life will be easier for you. One of them you can get with a deep 12 1/4" drive, but the ratcheting wrench makes your life easy. All you have is for the top, 1 clamp here, and they're simple clamps. That goes top follows all the way to the air cleaner. The bottom, very easy, it's already labeled on there too. And the bottom you unhook, same thing, same type of clamp. It goes in very easy. Now all I gotta do is put the serpentine belt back on. Hey, can we talk for a second? Sunday morning, I prepared the truck back Monday. I finished Monday afternoon. This is a repair that almost anybody can do. If you could change an alternator on a car or truck, you can do this repair. It's not rocket science. Sorry for the wind noise. It's not rocket science. It's easy to diagnose. Even I, at first, because I've never done that. I honestly never really worked on an LS style motor. So there were some things I had to learn in 5 minutes from talking to a mechanic down the road, because I've never changed a vacuum pump on this type of engine. But once I flipped the truck up, looked at it, I started laughing at myself. So what the hell was wrong with myself? It's just because I thought this was covered by warranty, and apparently it expired. And I learned something very important also. Should it have been covered by warranty, I would have had to get the truck there, because no mobile mechanic was coming here from the dealership. Learned that the hard way. Wasted actually a weekend waiting till Monday. 2, if the truck, I would have had to have it towed there. And I know they probably wouldn't cover that. I would have had to pay for that. Number 3 is when, after I settled it with the guy asking, your mechanic only changes oil? Why did, I almost blew up and I had to walk away. But what I learned is, the guy told me, well, if you got it here, it'd take us 4 days to analyze it, and we couldn't get to it. And then we'd have to then see if we had the part, yada, yada. I would have been without this truck probably for 5 days. Instead, I went and did a stump job. On the way to the stump job, driving to pick up my son drives, towed the machine, did the job. On the way there, stopped at the dealership, got all this faddle done, got the part, did the job, came back, started to do the repair. Another stump job came in, I went out and did it, came back, ate lunch, altogether maybe an hour and a half to do this job. Altogether. Put it together was so much easier than even taking it apart. All right. I showed you in the video, there's going to be a link in the description to another guy's video that shows you how to use the tool, basically, for the pulley. And I didn't make that part, you know why? Because time was money. And the other guy actually had a very good video on how to use the tool. I'll put a link for the tool from Harbor Freight, and I'll put a link for the tool. If there's one on Amazon, I'll look today. If there's one on Amazon, because not everybody has a Harbor Freight, right? So for the same, that toolkit's made by a bunch of people, right? It worked. I started with a new pulley. Say, why did I not take off the old pulley? Time. For $18 or whatever, why should I bother? And let me go get the price sheet and give you an exact breakdown of what this costs me to repair. Hold on. All right, here's our price breakdown. The pump list price is $588.10. My price was $499.88. The pulley list price is $18.65. My price $15.85. The $15.85 was worth my time just to buy a new pulley and to spend the time to pull the old pulley off and put it back on. Time is money to me, all right? So my total for this repair is with tax, yada yada, $559.65. Now, here are your part numbers. All right, and this truck's a 2021. It's got the 6.6 motor in it. The guy at the dealership told me they've been having, it's a problem, but it hasn't been called to a recall. All right, so maybe later on this will be a recall item on these trucks. I don't know, but this part is also available. Hold on. This part is available on Amazon, but beware. It better say OEM when you're looking it up, because there's a bunch of aftermarket ones. And I've been told by the parts guy, and this guy was shooting really, really straight with me. And he said he's been getting guys coming back and buying the OEM because they bought the aftermarket ones and they failed within 6 months. 2-3 months. This has happened to me on Kubota engines on Amazon, buying some very, very cheap fuel pumps. And on my old one originally, I think, like they were 25 bucks a piece. I landed, and they'd last a week, sometimes last maybe a month, and I'd have a fuel pump failure. I then bought an OEM one. It might have been $110, and you know what? Never had a problem since. All right, so there's something to be said about OEM quality and something to be said about knockoff quality. All right, so if it's something, your life depends on something, buy the best there is. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say that. And brakes are very important. All right, because no brakey, no stoppy. Now, to some of you, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not Mr. Expert. I'm just you. I'm the guy next door. But I'm the guy that is not afraid of tackling stuff. I will tell you, I've never done this one before, diagnosing, but I just went step by step. I went underneath the dash here, started following this buzzer nut, and went underneath the truck and followed the system, just hoses running to there, and there we go. And I just went on YouTube, and I'll put a link to, once I said, to this one guy that shows you how to take it off and all. I was like, I'm sweating all this. Only reason I was waiting was because to see if I was covered by warranty, and to find out I wasn't. It's okay. I got 45,000 miles on this truck. This truck has given me no problems, but this is the first problem it's given to me. So I'm very happy with this truck. It even says on the door right here, made by Isuzu. So it's got a Chevy motor in it. And so something I did. Oh, now I gave you the price on the parts. Now labor on this, I know it would have been, I would have had to tow it. I know labor. I know I was looking at well over $1,000. Probably, who knows, after the dealership got done with me, but yada, 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 bullshit. It probably would have been about $1,100, $1,200 to do this job. All right. To where I did it, and I already told you how fast I was able to do it. And I still made money that day. I still was able to produce and go out and grind stumps in between. And I'm just telling you this, don't be afraid, all right? And remember, just like the shirt says, remember, if you're not learning something new every day, you must be dead. You're not dead, all right? And To all the people, real quick, because I know some of you guys say, oh, you talk too much. I'm going to tell you right now. All the people in North Carolina, Florida, Georgia that got hit by this deal, stay strong. And I'll make another video what you learned from this whole thing. All right? Be safe. God bless you all. And tackle it. Do it. We showed you the Mustang, how I diagnosed it. It was very simple, step by step by step. Either forward or backwards. It was a fuel issue, and I just, don't think I don't watch YouTube too. Sometimes, I'm like, ooh, this is all new. I never worked on this engine before. I'll just do a YouTube search. I'll look around, and thank you to all the people that are YouTubers that show stuff. And sometimes it takes 2 or 3 videos of different people because somebody may have left out a step. And they left out a step because, we're not professional people doing this YouTube thing. I'm just the guy next door trying to share my experiences. And if you're shaking in your pants going, what do I do? What do I do? Somebody, at least you could click a button and say, there's hope. I learned it from this guy, and now I'm passing it on to you. All right? I'm not doing this to make money. There's really very few people make a lot of money in YouTube. I'm just going to let you know that right now. All right? I do this so my son can look back later in life, and so I can, if I help one person out here and all this stuff I do, and it's fun to me to be a teacher. All right? Used to be a captain, so I used to give directions, so I'm kind of used to it, and I kind of like it. But this filming part and editing part, it's all new. I had to learn that too. Jeez. And I'm sorry if some of the videos are raw or whatever. I know I'm talking too much, and some people make nasty comments to me about that, but you know what? Hey, switch. You can always turn me off, right? And one more real quick thing. I put some war videos up. Some people are disgusted by them. They're in shorts, okay, YouTube shorts. There's a reason why I put them up, all right? Men need to be men. We don't have a lot of men not being taught to be men. And another reason is my father's birthday passed. He would have been 87 years old. He grew up, I'm first generation born here, and my brother is too. So we were American through and through. My father was born overseas in Europe during World War II, and was one of those little kids running around with bombs blowing up everywhere, all right? He had the Germans, he had to deal with that, he had to deal with the Russians, and I don't hate anybody, all right? My father, the Americans treated him, God bless America. That's all I got to say. My grandparents came here on a boat with him, came through Ellis Island, and you had to have a sponsor to come here. You had to know where you're going to live. You had to have a job waiting for you. And that's the way it ought to be. I'm sorry. My father did it, and I expect anybody coming over here that they got to do it, right? Let's do things properly. It's not hard. I'm ranting again. See you next time.